And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, rock cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the mighty 1090 studios with Captain Frank LoPreste from the Royal Polaris and First Mate, as we call her, Kathy Rounds. We're going to have a great show talking some amazing fishing here in the month of July. You stay tuned. Southern California's sport fishing voice is Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090. Summer has finally arrived, bringing warmer waters our way. And you know what that means. The offshore fishing this season could be one of the best ever. And speaking of best ever, have you seen the new 2015 Ford F-150? It's the most advanced F-150 ever, which is even more good news for fishermen. One of my favorite features is the available 360-degree camera. It lets you see everything around you, which really comes in handy when you're trying to launch on a crowded dock. It's also the first truck ever to be built with military-grade aluminum alloy. That means the new F-150 is up to 700 pounds lighter to accelerate faster and stop quicker. It also hauls more and tows more. And get this, it does it all more fuel efficiently. I highly recommend taking one out for a test drive. The new F-150 is the best thing to happen to fishermen in San Diego since the barbed hook. So stop by your San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up. Have fun in the sun catching fish and take home $1,000 cash. How does that sound? This is Pete Gray, and I want to personally invite you to join me and a great group of people this October at one of the best fishing resorts in the world, Hotel Palmas de Cortez in Baja's amazing East Cape. This is our 21st year, and to celebrate, we have raised the bar. Thanks to the generosity of George Weir Asphalt in Escondido, we will award one lucky angler $1,000 cash for catching the largest tuna, dorado, or wahoo in our 2-day tournament. Now, don't be intimidated by the word tournament. Our Palmas de Cortez event is all about having fun, catching fish, and winning some great prizes, including $1,000 cash and a bunch more, including the first place team wins a trip to Palmas de Cortez, along with having all their fish processed for free by the East Cape Smokehouse. Get this! Tournament entry is free for Let's Talk Hookup listeners, so make your reservations now for October 8th through 12th by calling Van Warmer Resorts at 877-777-TUNA or check the trips page at hookup1090.com for more details.
Meet the Innovation Award-winning Yamaha V6 offshore 4-strokes at 300, 250, and 225 horsepower. These Predators are up to 73 pounds lighter than the competition, and with class-leading 4.2-liter displacements, they're up to 19% faster and up to 17% more fuel efficient at cruise RPM than comparable 4-strokes. And now they're available with Helmmaster, Yamaha's fully integrated boat control system. Meet the next generation of Yamaha V6 offshore 4-strokes today at your local Yamaha dealer. Helmmaster available with V6s purchased only as part of new boat packages from boat builder partners. Information is the key to success, and inside information is even better. When it comes to fishing, inside information is critical, and that's what FishDope.com delivers. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and save fuel. FishDope.com is the only SST service with a satellite oceanographic PhD on board. The only fish finding service with a spotter plane. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com boasts the largest code group anywhere, covering sport boats, commercial boats, and private boaters. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. What I'm telling you is, if you don't have FishDope.com, well, good luck. Membership costs less than 40 gallons of gas for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, stay tuned for the special code to save $20 on a FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. The mystery is about to be unveiled.
He's here.
It's on.
Captain Frank LoPreste. Good morning, Captain.
I'm the fill-in, man.
The fill-in. No, the
That's not
fortunate
the
thing is you're around and you just fresh off the boat, right?
That's correct.
And had an amazing trip.
Oh, they were great
two
trips.
amazing trips
Great
on the Royal
trips.
Polaris,
Both
right?
of them, yep.
Tell us about that first one with how many wahoo did you catch?
Well, we had excellent fishing on the ridge on yellowtail and yellowfin tuna, and near limits on both. And then obviously you got to go to the rocks because you got to get something exotic, right?
Yeah.
And I was hoping.
But wait a minute, it's June.
I
You don't
know.
catch wahoo in June at the rocks.
I was hoping that we'd get 15 or 20 wahoo.
Yeah.
And instead, we got 100.
100.
And we didn't get that. If I remember, number 99 came on a dropper loop on the anchor.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
And 100 came by a guy named Bert Perrone, a local San Diego guy, and he got that one on the iron. And but most of that fish was just gorgeous fish. And I've got part of it there at Laos and the other part of it on the outside bank, and we got some big olive grouper. God, they were so cool. That really pleases the customer. And I'm glad we don't catch 30 or 40. I'm happy with 5, 6, 7 because every one of the guys and everybody's envious of that guy.
How big is a big?
45, 50 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Man,
That's cool.
That's a big grouper.
And I think we have a world record.
Kathy, again?
Kathy doesn't know.
No, not you.
He
no.
hasn't told me this yet.
World record patinus.
Oh, wow. Really?
It's going in, yeah.
From Alejos.
11 and a half pounds.
Oh,
Wow.
dude. No
When I
way.
saw that thing come over the rail, I went, holy cow. I ran down to look at it.
You got to be kidding me.
11 and a half
What
pounds.
is a patinus?
Patinus? It is something you cherish dearly when you go to Hurricane Bank, because when fishing's slow, we get everybody, excuse me, to put on a 2-hook rig, 3-hook rig, and you go down to there's a couple spots that are better than others, and you go down, and that is the best dinner fish. It's better than red rock cod.
Really?
It is just delicious, and they
So
remind
it's a
you
rockfish.
They remind you of a sculpin, except their spines are 5 times longer, and they're yellow and pink and
Their coloration is
Super
beautiful.
tropical.
And these
wow.
huge, like 6-foot spines.
Oh,
coming up.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
beautiful.
But we make it one of our dinner specialties whenever we have the opportunity.
Oh,
That's so
fantastic.
cool.
Deep water rockfish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. That you don't
So-
catch kind of north of Alejos.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you don't. And you don't get a lot of them at Aleos.
11 pounds.
11
for a
and a half-
rockfish.
Yeah,
that's a
normally
big
they're
one.
2
3
to
pounds.
5.
Yeah.
5 pounds would be a huge.
Yeah. It's kind of
So-
like those big yellow eyes. Sometimes they don't even get to be that big, right? Up in Alaska.
I think
What's
they
the
do.
biggest
I
stuff
think they
there?
do.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
close
those
to
get pretty
30.
big.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
they
I
get
got a 32 on my wall.
32
so-
pounds?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, they get big. I've just never seen
I
one.
got a 28-pounder one.
28
out there.
pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, those are
So
big.
anyhow, the fishing just continues on this long range. This last trip I ran was the George Kuchel family trip. And George is a regular customer. He's been riding the boat since 75. And he does an 18-day trip and a 10-day trip, and then he charters the boat for just his family. And we had 3 tackle boxes.
on the Royal Polaris. No way.
3 tackle boxes.
So you could put yours wherever you wanted.
and the
If you were one of the 3.
and the average, I don't know. I don't know if they averaged a rod per person that was on the boat because we had, we supplemented
Right.
it. But what a good time.
Yeah,
and
cool.
it's a great time for the crew. Jonathan Yamati, who is an excellent, excellent fisherman, he got this one kid, young kid about 17 years old, and he had him on the long rod. And he'd no longer land one, and Jonathan would fire it out there again and hand it off to him again and be pulling on it. He pulled about 10 or 12 fish in a row, and the guy, his tongue was hanging out.
I can't imagine.
And then you told us about Roy's Day yesterday.
Yes, and by the way, I want to mention on that Wahoo thing, the last time I can remember a catch like that, and it was the first time I had run the Royal Polaris to Aleos Rocks, we had 100 Wahoo in June. And that's the last time I ever remember anybody catching 100 Wahoo in June.
So
And that was in 1978.
1978, a few years ago.
Yeah, a few years ago.
Yeah. So are we going to see Wahoo up here? Is that a sign?
Well, the water temperatures are such that I'm not 100% sure, but I would bet money on it. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, and now once again, this week the El Nino predictors said that we are going to have a 97, 98 style El Nino in the fall and through the winter here.
Well, then I would say if he's right, then we're going to have
90%. A 90%. Now they're saying 90% chance.
and we know how reliable they are.
Yeah. So we'll just see what happens. So Roy, yesterday.
Roy,
This is such good news, Pete.
The first day before yesterday was 7-day, going down and he goes across the Big Eye Bank outside of Benitez, and he hits a kelp patty, and limits of 18 to 30 pound yellowtail off of one kelp patty.
One kelp for the whole boat limits.
18 to 30 pounds.
One patty.
Unbelievable. And, Steve Loomis and I were talking about this, and several of the boats, by the way, have had some excellent fishing on big yellows under the kelps. It used to be now and then, I'm talking back in the late 50s, 60s, early 70s, it used to be that you'd find a kelp patty here and there, and you'd get a few, maybe 10, 15. But the kind of numbers we're getting now of these, it's like they have new habits, that they've become a tuna-type fish. They're offshore. And you see big bunches of them at times out in...
Like big roving schools?
Yeah, you do see them. And then the other, there's several phenomena that are crazy to me, is this bluefin fishing. We never, ever, ever saw these kinds of schools. And that's what's so upsetting when these people say the bluefin are nearing extinction. And we didn't ever catch this type of bluefin or see this type of bluefin. The other day, Sanford Morita, who's a good customer and fishes on the boat with Dennis Inaba, he called me and said, I'm going on the Loan. And I said, well, good, have a great trip. And I called him yesterday, how'd you do, Sanford? He said, we did good. And I said, what'd you catch? And he said, well, between Dennis and I, we had 6 bluefin and 10 yellowfin.
Wow. That's so cool.
Where'd you fish? We were 13 miles from Point Loma.
13 miles.
Marcus Medak, captain of the New Loan, stopped and showed me a picture yesterday of one that he caught the day before. It was 150 pounds. Yep. When was the last time we caught 150-pound tuna of 13 miles?
What about the new Seaforths right now?
Right?
Right. Every day on the 100-fathom curve, I say every day, I'm pretty sure every trip, I might be a little off there, but they've been catching 12 yellowfin, 6 bluefin, and 5 yellowtail.
Yeah, no big deal.
8 yellowfin, 5 bluefin, just every day. On a half-day boat out of Seaforth.
Yeah.
And these aren't 5-pounders.
No,
I mean,
they're
great
30
fish,
to 45-pound fish.
And you have a chance at a big one.
Absolutely you do.
So, I think you ought to get on your jet ski and get out there.
Yeah.
I think you're
or how
right.
about like a
I
stand-up
predict
paddleboard?
there's going to be somebody out there in a jet ski.
I'm sure. I mean, like you say, that you're talking, you're fishing close enough that you can
jet
see.
Ski, kayak.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, there was a photo a couple weeks ago of a guy on a jet ski that caught like 4 or 5 bluefin.
I know there's a guy that did catch a bluefin on a kayak. I mean, paddled from the surf, launched through the surf, and paddled out and.
Not recommended.
No.
We're not recommending.
No, definitely not.
This is news you did not know.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Booger released 7 bluefin.
Wow. No kidding, really?
At the islands.
Yep.
Wow.
Said he ran through 3 bunches. The first bunch, he didn't think it was yellowtail. It was a breezer, but he wanted to make sure. And he said it came up solid bluefin.
Oh, wow. And you're talking at the islands proper.
Away from it.
He didn't do one of his offshore trips, and he was at the islands catching yellowtail.
And I'm hoping, next week, the whoever it is supposed to sign into law the 2-fish limit on the bluefin.
Okay.
And
next week.
It's our strong hopes that Mexico will follow suit right afterwards and allow us the 2 fish.
Yeah, cool.
And I don't know if you know it, but there actually is a law, a sport fishing law in Mexico that allows us to catch bluefin. However, it doesn't state how many, so therefore that's why we can't take them now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, one thing I will say is that make sure when you're going to the islands that you have everything you're supposed to have, because the guys have been there most of this week checking.
The days
you were there, you got checked, right?
I was there on Tuesday.
They were checking Wednesday. They were checking Thursday.
The days of a driver's license are no longer good. I mean, you absolutely have to have a passport.
Yeah.
And there's no
passport card.
Or passport card. There's no ins, outs, excuses. Seaforth, Point Loma Sport Fishing have been turning away people every day. They come down thinking they're going to get on that 3/4 day boat because they have before, and it's all over their internet. That but no, they got to turn them away. They can't let them. We're not going to jeopardize our future in Mexico.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
The check-in process is.
How long did it take you?
I mean, this is less than 5 minutes. They were very courteous, very polite.
They're polite.
There was absolutely no problem. We were actually pulling on a fish. When they came to check us, they sensed the situation. They hung 100 yards outside the boat. They waited till we gaffed our yellowtail and put it on ice and high-fived, and they approached on the appropriate side, nice and slow. Good morning, how you doing? And they basically extended a big scoop, a 10-foot handled net to the boat. We put our paperwork, our FMM receipt, our boat registration, our licenses, and our passports into that. They pulled it on board. They checked the names versus the passports. It was less than 5 minutes. They put them back. They waved us good fishing, have a good day, and took off at a pro. I mean, it was just everything you could imagine. So fast, so easy, so polite, no problems whatsoever. We were back to fishing, and I say it's 5 minutes. It was actually less time than that.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is you guys do it right. You put it in a Ziploc bag. Everybody, when you get on the boat, you have everybody put their stuff in there. So if
you don't want to have to scramble.
If the incident comes and they're there, they want to check you, you just boom, boom, you're back to fishing. And
be ready for it.
Exactly. Yeah. It just shows that even if you haven't, it shows that you've been there before, you're aware of what's going on. It's a courtesy to them, and they extend the same courtesy to you.
Absolutely.
There's no talking back and forth. Okay, wait, where's this? I mean, it happens so fast, and that's the third time I've been checked this year, and all 3 times exactly the same. Never more than 5 minutes. It's super easy.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, Kathy, when you hear of a world record on the Royal Polaris being caught, are you a little jealous, maybe?
Extremely.
I can imagine. How many world records do you have aboard the Royal Polaris?
2.
2. Which are?
Her other 2 are those.
It's for the same fish. It's
okay.
The Blue Star Jack.
The Blue Star Jack.
Yeah. So all tackle in the line class.
That's so cool.
Record. All right. Well, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for you today. A lot to talk about out there on the water.
You're not kidding. So much going on with the good local tuna fishing, obviously the good long-range fishing, everything that's going on. It is going to be a very fun show, and we're so excited to have Frank and Kathy. It's my favorite shows when they're on here. Lots to talk about. If you want to join us this morning, we would love to hear from you. 2 ways you can reach us here on Let's Talk Hookup, and first is with our local line, which is 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. That's our local number. Or you can reach us toll-free. That toll-free line is 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. Not only will we be talking fishing, we got some great catch reports coming up today, all kinds of great fun information. We've also got a rad prize for one lucky caller at the end of the show today. We've been talking about how good that fishing has been this year, and one lucky caller is going to get to go on a 3/4-day trip at a C4 Sport Fishing and fish with Captain Ryan Bastian. Again, just amazing yellowtail fishing that's going on right now, and one lucky caller is going to get to sample that and go on a free 3/4-day trip aboard the San Diego at a C4 Sport Fishing. And when we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls. Lots of great information coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Have you checked out the giant fast lane kayaks in Mission Bay yet? It's hard to miss, right in the middle of Dana Landing, across from SeaWorld in Mission Bay. This massive 5,500 square foot location is loaded with Hobie Mirage Drive kayaks and all the accessories. They also have a great selection of Hobie clothing, stand-up paddle boards, paddles, and more. Check out the new model Hobie kayaks arriving daily and see the great deals on previous year's models. Even test a kayak or stand-up paddleboard right out their back door on Mission Bay. When it comes to Hobie kayaks, no one does it better than the crew at Fastlane Kayaks at Dana Landing across from SeaWorld in Mission Bay. Check FastlaneSailing.com.
I'm very excited to share my experience with the new Simrad NSS Evo 2 touchscreen chart plotter and sonar unit I just installed on my boat. I've been a Simrad electronics fan for many years and always enjoyed the ease of use and incredible technology. Last year I installed the new 4G broadband radar and could not believe the difference. So this year I upgraded to the new NSS Evo 2 and it's amazing. With an easy-to-use tablet-style interface that's fresh but familiar, the Simrad NSS Evo 2 combines a multi-touch screen with push-to-select rotary dial for precision control and speedy response. The core of any marine electronics for me is how it marks fish. And the new NSS Evo 2 with built-in Sonar Hub sounder technology, including chirp and structure scan, can't be beat. Now, the true test is whether I need to pick up the manual to figure it out. And guess what? The new Simrad gear is so easy, I didn't need it. There's a lot more to the new Simrad NSS Evo 2 system I'd like to tell you, but best to just go to your local Simrad dealer and check it out. Or see simrad-yachting.com for more details.
Great boats, free parking, and a fully stocked tackle shop. Just a few of the reasons Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top charter boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Eclipse, Apollo, Outer Limits, Pacific Star, El Gato Dos, Alexis, Pride, Privateer, Tribute, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch in San Diego offer the finest half, 3/4, and full-day trips available. Check out the full-service tackle store at Seaforth Sport Fishing. And it's all run by fishermen for fishermen. 1717 Quivira Road, just off Mission Bay Drive in Mission Bay. Book online at seaforthlanding.com.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
Rancho Leonero is very family-oriented. People have brought their children down, and now they're bringing their children. It's not unusual to have 3 generations of family at the hotel. Grandpa, Dad, and normally sons, sometimes daughters. The families come back year after year, and it's a safe place for the kids. It's small, it's intimate, right on the water, 2 miles of beachfront. The water's very shallow in front. There's no currents to speak of, no waves. We have childcare, $10 a day for a babysitter. Security is high at Rancho Leonero. It's really unnecessary, but it adds up comfort level. And we really do encourage the families. It's a great place for family reunions, family get-togethers, weddings. We do it all. 1-800-646-2252, 646-BAJA. And RanchoLeonero.com. There's nowhere that I could think of to have the same atmosphere and the same experience that you get at Rancho Leonero. We love families.
Good morning, it's Whitney from Mammoth Lakes, California. Come on up, the water's fine, is what the Eastern Sierra is touting. And in Mammoth Lakes, it's much more than just the water. This summer, our 4 lakes will be stocked with almost 16,000 pounds of healthy fighting trout. From fishing and biking to hiking and horseback riding, there's a legendary story waiting for adventurers of all ages in Mammoth Lakes. Start planning your next adventure at visitmammoth.com. That's visitmammoth.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Phones are packing up. Again, if you want to get your chance to get through, 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. Your options right now.
There you go. Let's go live to New Loan. Captain Marcus Medex on the line. Good morning, Marcus.
Hey, good morning, Pete. Hey, I remembered it was Saturday, so I called you.
All right, yeah, I saw you last night. And, yeah, every day this time of the year kind of run together, right?
Marcus, we were talking this morning about Sanford and Dennis Inaba being on the boat the other day, and what a good day they had.
Nice. All right. Well, that's cool. Yeah. It was good. We struggled a little bit numbers-wise that day, but ended up getting, a few nice fish and nice day out on the water, so we're happy about it. So that was good. Anyway, we're just calling to check in here. We went back out a little further. We figured in on the beach today it might be kind of crowded, so we stretched our legs out a little bit. We got on a little bit of bluefin here first thing in the morning. Nothing hot and heavy yet, but we've had a nice plunker bite here. We've had 1 or 2 going since daylight pretty much. Light tackle fishing, but it's 20 to 35 pound bluefin. I think we've got 12 or 13 of them so far, and we've got 1 hooked up. So nothing hot and heavy yet, but if we can keep this pace up and keep it up, we're going to end up with a nice day. So
nice and steady.
Looking pretty good. Weather's beautiful, and it's a promising start to the morning here.
And you're on a 1-day trip out of Point Loma Sport Fishing, right, Marcus?
Yeah, that's correct. We are.
All right. So what's the schedule for the New Loan coming up this week?
We have a day and a half tonight, and actually I think we have all day and a half through the week. We have another 1-day trip somewhere towards the end of the week. I don't remember right now off the top of my head, but we're mainly doing day and a half, so we have a few 1-day trips thrown in here and there just to sort of balance the schedule out. And that's pretty much what we've got for the whole summer planned out is what we're planning on doing. Mainly day and a half and a few one days thrown in here and there.
And if somebody wants to come on, are there spots available this coming week?
There are. Actually, there's a lot of spots here during the week. Lots during the week. I don't know about tonight. I think we still had a few spots when we left last night. But during the week, I know we got plenty of room. But we're going all the time, however many people we have, so people don't have to worry about that. But, yeah, it looks good. You know, there's a lot of fish around this year, a lot, and a lot of good quality fish. They haven't been biting real well every day, but, you know, there's a lot of really good quality fish. We've caught 2 bluefin over 100 pounds just this week.
Jeez.
Obviously, we've lost some others. So, you know, there's real chances at some real trophy fish here on a local 1 day or day and a half trip right now. It's pretty darn cool. I think I've seen more 100-pound bluefin this year than I've seen probably since sometime in the mid-'90s. I mean, there's really a lot of them around. It's pretty darn impressive when they're up and about.
How cool is it that every time you go fishing on an overnight trip on the New Loan, having a 100-pound tuna is an absolute, possibility on every single trip this year? It's so cool, Marcus.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. We don't, like I said, you don't see them up every day, but there's a lot of them around, and when that body of fish is showing, it's really impressive. I'd have to imagine that one of these days they're going to really start biting. It's better, the first couple of weeks we were looking at it, we couldn't buy a freaking bite on those big ones. We just have a giant spot, and they'd be doing backflips in between our lines. We couldn't buy a bite, but we're actually starting to hook a couple here and there. So I'm thinking that they're going to start to go on the bite here at some point, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later.
We're ready for it. So if somebody wants to come aboard the New Loan tonight or all week, PointLomaSportFishing.com, or they can call Point Loma Sport Fishing, right?
That's it. Yep, or just call the number there, 619-223-1627. And that'll work, so...
Good going, Marcus.
Anyway.
Thanks, Marcus. Appreciate the report from the New Loan. Keep getting them. You can hear that sonar clicking in the background.
So cool.
Marcus is great. Thanks a lot, Marcus. Appreciate that much.
He's also an excellent fisherman.
I've fished with him many times on long-range trips. The guy is really, really good.
Very educated guy, sharp guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
His wife works for Fish and Game.
Does she really? Yes. Okay, very good. Well, Marcus I saw him last night. I was leaving my office, and he was just all lit up about big bluefin. I mean, he's got that long-range buck because he worked on long-range boats for many, many years and likes to catch big fish like all of us do, right? And he was really excited about the opportunities for local anglers.
It's an unbelievable thing that is going on here this last 2 years.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
The opportunity to catch big fish.
The amount of yellowtail, I don't, it's just obvious. It's crazy.
Get on it. Get on a trip.
And, it doesn't mean that every day, any boat you go on, you're going to catch fish. It's still called fishing.
Yeah.
All right? But your chances of a good trip, your chances of some beautiful fish are very, very good.
No doubt about it. The only line available right now is 877-792-1090. You want to get through, there's your chance.
All right, we're going to start things off on the phones this morning with John, who's calling us from Long Beach. John, good morning. Thanks for getting us started here on Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, gentlemen. I got a question for you, Rick. For just what Marcus was talking about, these 100-pound bluefin, what's a good CalStar rod for that, a graphiter? What's a good blank for that?
Yeah, well, there'd be a lot of great ones, and it depends on the size of line and gear that you're going to fish. But if I was going to pick one rod to try and catch a big bluefin on a local trip, I would probably pick a 7-foot CalStar, and I like the CalStar Graphiter 700 Heavy with a Shimano Talica 12. If you were going to pick one outfit that's still small enough to fit in your hands, is going to cast a bait good and still be appropriate when you're catching, obviously they're not all 100-pounders, so you need gear that's small enough that you can appropriately fly line a sardine and catch your 30 to 40-pounder, but still have enough gas in the tank when you do hook a 100-pounder. I think that would be the outfit of choice for me. CalStar Graphite 700H with a Shimano Talica 12.
And what pound Power Pro Spectra should you put on there? And then what kind of fluoro?
If it was me, I'd do 65-pound Spectra, and I would be fishing like a little piece of 40 or 50-pound Seaguar fluorocarbon.
50.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
50.
All right, well.
Yeah, don't do the 40. maybe Rick will get away with the 40, but the average angler needs the 50. There is such a difference in pulling power with 50 compared to 40.
Yeah.
And then you got to pray that he doesn't chew that line off, because those.
So you use a circle hook when you're fishing bluefin?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you've got to be using a Mutu style hook, and you got to pray. What those big fish do that just. It just drives me crazy when I'm standing there with a gaff. They'll come up on their side, and just as they're about 15 feet down, they come right side up, and they start shaking their head back and forth, trying to chew that
like
line.
a saw.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you just holding your breath.
Yeah, you see them flare their gill plates and start shaking their head, and you watch it in the rod tip, and it drives you crazy.
How do they know, Frank? How do they know?
They're good at
it. That's how they get to be big, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Indeed. Hey, hope that helped you out. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. That does free up 858-457-1090, open right now.
Mark in Lakeside, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Mark, good morning. You're on with Frank and Kathy.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going?
Great, Mark.
Hey, I got a two-part question. One, best connection for mono to fluoro, and then I'm going on that seminar, the September 11th on the San Diego, and I just need to know, do I need to bring any gear, or you guys got all that covered?
The Shimano Let's Talk Hookup on the Water seminar, September 11th for the San Diego. You can come with no gear. They're going to have a lot of Shimano gear for you to use for free. But if you have a 25-pound, 30-pound setup, I'd bring it just as a backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
great.
Yeah.
What about connections, Kathy? Do you have a favorite from Spectra to mono or fluorocarbon?
I think you said mono to fluorocarbon,
right.
which my favorite is it's a 7 to 5. You just wrap your line 7 times, you flip it up and wrap it up the top like you've made a circle of line, and then just pull it to cut your tag. And so I find that
so is that a surgeon's knot?
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
But it tests the best.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do a back-to-back uni, you can do all these other knots, but they don't hold.
Yeah.
Will that John Collins knot work on that, or no?
John Collins knot is for
Spectra to mono or Spectra to fluoro.
Right.
So it's not really designed for mono to fluoro.
Right.
Okay. I was looking at that Seaguar knot for that. That looks like a pretty easy one to tie. Is that one pretty good? Or?
Seaguar is easy to tie, and it's easy to come apart.
All right. Hey, thank you very much, guys.
Yep.
Thanks, Mark.
I don't know if our audience knows, but Kathy has spent countless hours tying knots and testing them on the machine at the shows.
Exactly.
She'd be running that Iserline contest. So she really knows what she's talking about when she talks about strength of knots and how they work, and et cetera.
I want to know what knot that is that you're tying there. If it's the surgeon 7-turn surgeon knot or
it used to be called a 9 to 5.
A 9 to 5.
It would be 9 wraps and 5, but 9 is just too many. It makes it too bulky and it doesn't cinch down well. So I do 7 to 5.
7 to 5. Okay.
You're saying you're going up 7 times and then back down?
No, I just take the 2 and wrap them together 7 times, and then I take them up to the top, like circle up, and do 5 on the top, and then just pull them.
Oh, okay. That's not a surgeon's
no, not at all.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that either.
Yeah. That's
I'm
a new one
intrigued.
to me.
I'm intrigued. I love stuff like that.
Have
That's
to show
awesome.
us that one.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right, one line open. You want to get through 877-792-1090.
All right, well, let's jump right back into the phones, which are definitely getting packed up. How about we talk to David, calling us from Encinitas this morning. David, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, I had a question. I was looking at the counts this week and saw the Sea Adventure 80 got a big eye tuna. Was that ever confirmed?
You know, this is the first I've heard about it. I wouldn't be surprised. You see one here and there. But I don't, as far as whether it was confirmed or not, I do not know.
What do you think of prospects of a big eye? Just kind of that thing, Frank, where we'll see an occasional one here or there? Or?
Oh, I think you'll see an occasional one.
Okay.
We see occasional ones at Aleos. We see occasional ones here and there.
Okay.
But, you know, I've constantly been hoping for, I don't remember what year it was. It was back when Bobby Fletcher was running the
Cat Special?
Cat Special, that we had that year of just phenomenal big eye fishing.
Oh.
It was limit style fishing, pretty much outside of Ensenada. And I keep thinking we're going to have a year like that because it went into November. But,
how about this year?
But from what I understand, the commercial pressure down south on the Big I has been so intense.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, Ecuador and that area. So I don't know.
And you hear the word that I always hear too is that they target them on fads when they're at such a juvenile age. They're just
before they can breed.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. 2 pounds, 5 pounds, like just nothing. How about for the guy that is not super familiar? You hear a lot of people talk about how similar in look a Big I is to a yellowfin tuna. Is there a way to describe the two difference on the radio? I mean, I know that's probably tough without them side by side, but they're a different shaped fish, right?
Their body definitely has a different shape, a little rounder, okay, and it's real obvious when you look at one, and their fins are definitely longer.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all I can say.
All right, thanks.
Is it easy? No, it's not easy. But if you've been around them,
But if the two are side by side, they're clearly a different fish.
Yes.
You just don't often have that luxury of having a 50-pound yellowfin next to a 50-pound Big I.
The true way, they say, is to open it up and look at the liver.
That's right.
Yeah. And if the liver has what they call striations on it,
I'm not going to open and look at it.
Yeah, I know.
But if you took a yellowfin with your hand on his head and his tail and you just pushed them together about 6 inches, that's what a Big I. I mean, they're just bigger around all the way through.
It's pretty obvious.
And like you say, the pectoral fin, it's almost as long as an albacore.
I remember the last bite I had on those things that was really wide open. I was taking our trolling rods with the feather and just splashing it on the water. And I think I got I forget how many, quite a few.
Just dipping the feather in the water.
Yeah, they will when they really want to eat, they will eat the bottom of the boat out.
Really, that's so cool.
They are amazing. And I don't know if you're aware, but as far as sashimi, there is nothing better than Big I.
Yeah. I'm ready. I want them back.
It is the best.
Hey, David, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Hey, let's go north all the way up to Katmai Lodge, up to Bristol Bay, Alaska, and talk to Jeff Top. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning. How are you, Pete?
Hey, doing terrific. How's the week at Katmai this week?
It's been a great week. We've had an amazing king salmon run. Our sock guys are going 6 wide all the way up the river, and just keeps getting better.
Wow, sounds fantastic. Now this, for our people that are going on our Let's Talk Hookup trip, our sold-out Let's Talk Hookup trip in 2016, this is the week that we will be there. So this is a pretty prime week, right?
Oh, yeah. You guys picked it right, I'll tell you. This week has had some of the best fishing I've seen in the last 15 years.
Wow, that's
an amazing amount of king salmon in our river. And good-sized ones, too. I mean, some guys have been catching some 40-plus pound fish, so
wow,
they're good right now.
That's really amazing. Both on the fly as well as conventional?
Yeah, I had guys this week that were fly fishermen, and we did just as well as all the guys on conventional. And, there's just such a great number of fish in here. You can chase them any way you want to.
Wow. That's pretty
awesome.
What about up at the Braids? How's the trout fishing?
We've had some fairly good trout fishing. The salmon scatter the trout a little bit, so you got to kind of change where you're looking for them at. But the guys that have been going up there, they've been really enjoying their day. There's plenty of bears up there to see right now. They got salmon to play with, and the trout fish has actually been staying pretty strong for the amount of salmon in their river. Sometimes that messes them up, but it doesn't seem to be the case this year. The guys are still getting good numbers. They're getting them on mice. They're getting them on lures. They're getting them any way they want to go after them.
Oh, man, sounds fantastic. And just a great experience up there in Katmai Lodge. If somebody wants to come up, do you have spots available still for the rest of the season here? And, of course, that trophy trout in the late August or the fly-out rivers is just fantastic. You still spots available?
Oh, yeah, we've got not many, but we do have some, I mean, we're booking them every day. And but, if the guy doesn't have to have a big push to catch the king salmon, because that season closes the end of the month here, but that fall time, if you like to catch trout and fly around the float plains and go after the monster trout and have a great coho fishing, silver salmon are everywhere around there. So we got spots for sure, and it's a good time to be up here.
All right, very good. Well, Jeff Top, thanks a lot for calling. If you want to get a reservation either this year or next year, like I said, our trip at 616 is already sold out. So you better jump on it. 800-330-0326 or Katmai, KATMAI.com. Jeff, thanks a lot for the report. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, more great information. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
The fishing season started early, so now is the time to visit the best saltwater tackle store anywhere. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. With more inventory than ever before, we know the demand is going to be huge this season, so why wait? Visit us now and get your pick of the best equipment. Hey, there are already tuna, yellowtail, and marlin in local waters, so gear up now for what could be our best season ever. Take advantage of our expert staff that knows how to outfit you the right way. Come by and see us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego or saltwatertackle.com. Fisherman's Landing has been the choice of sport fishing anglers for decades with the largest fleet of long-range boats worldwide, complemented by Southern California's finest charter and open party fleet. From a half-day trip on the Dolphin to overnight trips or a long-range adventure, you can count on Fisherman's Landing to deliver the best. Check the website for all that is going on or call Fisherman's Landing at 619-221-8500. Book now at fishermanslanding.com.
My angler H2O. Like the mighty flounder, I will keep one eye on the pole and the other watching for rogue waves. I'll save water by taking shorter showers and enthusiastically celebrate Talk Like a Pirate Day. I will chat up the locals before launching in unfamiliar waters. And I will always, always wear my life jacket.
What's your H2O? Tell us at BoatCalifornia.com. The California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways reminds you to wear it, California.
Hey, this is Captain Paul Hebert from the Wicked Pisser. My brother Bruce and I make a living catching giant bluefin tuna. In fact, I wouldn't even go fishing with any other sunglasses than Maui Jim. Put a pair of Maui Jims on and instantly the glare is gone, the UV that can damage your eyes is gone, the ocean's true colors come shining through like never before. And with more contrast and clarity, you can see the bluefin at that critical time. Take it from me. Try a pair at your local tackle shop or check out MauiJim.com. You won't believe your eyes.
It's big, it's comfortable, and she is beautiful. The state-of-the-art long-range sport fishing vessel, the Independence. Veteran captains Mark Paisano and Paul Strasser built this incredible 112-foot vessel with the most modern technology and luxurious comfort available. Captain Jeff Dubois has helped make the Independence a top-notch operation. Call Independence Sport Fishing at 619-226-6006 or check the availability on spring, summer, and fall trips now at IndependenceSportFishing.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Padres.
Padres are playing some kind of baseball.
San Diego's sports leader, the Mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
All right, phones are packed up, and people want to talk to Frank and Kathy. But before we do that, I want to talk about the Shogun. What a great fishing platform the Shogun is. Captain Aaron Barnhill, what an amazing captain, and his crew. That crew is so top-notch.
They are excellent, and Aaron does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
He really
well,
does.
you kind of trained him on the Royal Polaris, right?
Oh, Aaron had a lot of training on the Legend also.
Oh, yeah.
And, no, Aaron's naturally just an excellent
He's got
fisherman.
that instinct.
He does.
Yeah.
Got
it. He's got that deal.
When it comes to fishing bluefin, I'll put him up just under Randy Toussaint.
Oh, come on. That's awful big there.
And he, Randy will even tell you, Randy loves Aaron just simply because he loves to key the big bluefin.
Yeah.
So cool.
And there is nobody better than Randy, in my opinion, but Aaron's right there.
Aaron's pretty darn close.
Yeah, a little below him.
Now, the other thing he's really good at is 6-day skiff trips, finding calico bass, yellowtail, white sea bass, and all that down below at Sacramento Reef. And our trip Rick and I kind of arm wrestle every year. Mm-hmm. Rick won again this year for the 6th day in October, so Rick's going. He was pumping iron, and I have a bad
pick a
arm.
different way to compete.
I tricked him. I did that. We started the arm. Hey, look at that over there. Okay, I got you. I'm going.
Yeah, that's it. So he's going on our Let's Talk Hookup trip at the end of October. It's been sold out for months. But we just had 3 openings pop open, 3 cancellations on it. So if you want to go with us on that Shogun skiff trip at the end, it comes back Halloween morning. So you're back just in time to go trick-or-treating.
And I might also mention there's another trip that leaves that day that's a skiff trip that's an 8-day.
It's an
that
8-day.
has some openings also.
Those are
following.
They're very unique and very, very fun fishing trips. You still get all the service that you would on on any first-class long-range operation. Shogun is so comfortable, very good riding boat, amazing food. The crew is very young and enthusiastic about fishing, and they love what they do. But you get the cool uniqueness of the skiff trip where you're up close and personal and you're casting big swim baits and surface iron from the small boat, and you really become good friends with the crew and the guys you're fishing with because it's more intimate. I mean, there's only 3 of you in the skiff, but the other thing that's so cool about those skiff trips is when the skiffs are out, half of the passengers are out fishing for calicos. Well, then the other half of us are on the Shogun with Aaron behind the wheel fishing whatever from the big boat. So imagine half of the day while you're out fishing bass. The other half, there's 12 of you at Cedros fishing yellowtail, and everybody's hooting and hollering. There's 12 guys casting surface irons across the back deck of the Shogun. It's just, the trip is so unique and so much fun. We had the best time last year.
So it leaves Sunday, the 25th of October, comes back Saturday, the 31st. So you're on a 6-day. You're only missing that Monday through Friday there. Come Sunday to Saturday. 3 spots left on that trip. It's limited to only 23 passengers. Then it leaves on Saturday the 31st, comes back Saturday the 7th. It's a 7-day, and that is a great trip. And that one's has a few spots left on it, too. Limit also to 23. Now, on our trip, our Let's Talk Hookup trip, of course, the one and only Corey Sandin from MC Swim Baits will be along with you, having a great time. You talk about a guy that's going to, if you want to learn more about catching big calico bass.
That's the truth, man.
And Corey is the man. He is amazing. He's an amazing fisherman. He's one of those guys that just has the natural instinct about just any kind of fish there. And Corey will be loading people up with MC swim baits and a lot of other good stuff on the trip. So you want to go on that trip, you can book it right online, shogunsportfishing.com, or just call the office, right, Frank?
Right. And there are a few 5-day trips, 3-day trips that have a few openings also. So if
you
check
look at
online,
the schedule, it's pretty thin.
Right.
So, and like we've been telling you for the last couple months, and I don't want our listeners to go, man, I should have booked that trip. Book it now because
I agree.
It's going to be the season of seasons this year. It's coming. It's a little delayed as far as just the wide open fishing. There's still some good fishing
really
going
feel
on.
that August, September, October are going to be wild.
Yeah,
I think so too, man.
Yeah. Those are going to be phenomenal months, in my opinion.
One of the things that we haven't really touched too much on too is just how good the overall quality of fish has been this year. I mean, the grade of the tuna has just been, it's crazy. I mean, where you're used to seeing the local tuna, it's schoolish size fish, a lot of 10, 15 pounder. I mean, that's just not the case right now. I mean, all that fish on these day-and-a-half boats. I mean, we see them every morning when I come back. It's just, there is so much quality. 25 to 40 pound tuna. I mean, that definitely makes up the bulk of the catch, and shots at 50 to 100 pounders every single day. It's amazing to see and really cool.
No doubt about it. Well, hey, let's find out what's biting down in the Baja, mainland Mexico. Is the cast man Richard Castaneda from Cast Tours, and this report is sponsored in part by Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Summer fishing means it's time to call Fisherman's Processing. You're on the private boat. Do like I do. Just call them the day before and make your arrangements so they either drop your fish at their dock or after hours drop. You get a tag, a lock combo, and you put it in their slush bin. You get back over there, and it's absolutely, dropped the tuna off there on Thursday and had it for dinner last night. And when you open the package from Fisherman's Processing, there's no trimming needed. No. It's ready to go. You just slice it the way you want to put it on the grill and eat it.
You're done.
It's a phenomenal product. So check fishermansprocessing.com or check them on Facebook. And let's talk to the cast man, Richard Castaneda from Cast Tours. Buenos dias, cast man.
Buenos dias, Pedro, Ricky.
What's up, Cass?
Not much, man. Just up here in Oregon. We're on the water, just dropping some crab pots for those great Dungeness. Matter of fact, one just hit the water. Fishing with Harry, the Italian stallion, Gualco,
the
and
one and only
good friend Gary Botter.
Uh-oh.
And we're going to give it a go. The silvers, coho, are running. Also, they're getting a few kings. So see if we got some luck today. But anyway, the fishing down in the southern end of that Baja,
continues to be just so-so. I mean, there's a few tuna, there's a few dorado, few wahoo being caught anywhere from La Paz, there southeast end of Cervalvo Island at Boca Montana, all the way down to the Inner Bank and those high spots there inside the Sea of Cortez there at the Iman, San Luis, and Dinarama. Not a lot of tuna right now, but they are catching them. I heard that there's some big tuna are being found about 30 to 40 miles from the East Cape. Under the porpoise there, they're getting some, 100, 150 pounders. Not a lot of them, but when they find those schools, they are holding some big fish. Of course, the big thing is a lot of striped marlin right now. Boats are averaging about one per day per boat. So it's, it's pretty good fishing for the marlin. And that's going to be the report for this week, Pete. Anybody wants to book a trip into southern Baja, mainland Mexico, Central America, Brazil, of course, in our fabulous Christmas Island trip, give us a call at 800-593-6510 or check us out on the web at www.casttours.com, and Pete, I'll talk to you guys next Saturday.
And there's still spots available for the 2016 Christmas Island trip.
Yeah, we've got we got probably about 6 to 7 spots left. So I've had a couple of guys call me this week that want to go. They just haven't got back to me yet. So hopefully they'll get back to me this week. But yeah, it'll sell out probably in the next month.
All right, get on it. Thanks, Castman. Enjoy the crab and tell the guys we said hi and good luck in that river. Appreciate the.
Hey, we always need good luck, man.
Yeah, especially with the stallion there, with Harry there, man. You really need luck. He's like the black cloud. It's like carrying the black cloud around with you.
You're screaming in the background. See you, Cass, man.
All right. Fun guys, for sure. Phones are packed. Let's jump into it.
You got it, man. How about we talk to Mike? Mike's calling us from Phoenix this morning. Hey, Mike, welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, Mike.
How you doing?
Great.
Oh, we lost Mike there. Let's go ahead and jump back in the phones again.
You got it, man. How about this time we'll talk to Dan then, and Dan is calling from San Diego. Hi, Dan. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, guys. How you doing this morning?
Great, Dan.
So I had a question for you. How many turns do you recommend when tying on your hook with your San Diego jam knot?
Kathy?
Depends on the line test.
Okay, good question. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the heavier the line, the fewer the turns.
That's what I thought.
So how many turns for 100 pound?
Oh, 3, maybe 4.
How many turns for 30 pound?
I would take 5.
Okay.
15 to 20 is 7. 30 would normally be 6, but I'm superstitious, so I never tie 6 anything. So it goes to 5, and I've done 5, fine with 5.
How about 40 pound either mono or fluoro? Most likely fluoro, like 5 turn.
Yeah, 5 turns.
Because I was down in Cedros, I had a really kind of strange experience. I let the Pongero tie on the knot because I figured this guy knows what he's doing, but I watched him and he did 12 turns on 40 pound mono. I didn't have a fluoro leader because he said, hey, you don't need a fluoro leader for this. We're just slow trolling for yellowtail. And I was fighting the fish for a little while. And they were big, but he snapped the line. And when I brought it back up, there were all the little curlicues at the end, so I know it broke in the knot.
Yeah, what happens is when you take too many, it's on a bell curve. So you come up to a peak and you go back off the other side.
I see.
So, you could take 5, 6, or even 7, but you go above that, then you're going back down the other side of the bell curve.
So don't go too many.
Too many is not good. I mean, just because 5 is great doesn't mean that 10 is better.
Yeah.
It's definitely on a bell curve.
There's definitely been some wintertime, I wouldn't call them boredom, but, BS sessions in the tackle store that have led to, I bet I can put more wraps on one of those. So I've definitely seen, we've seen some 50 and 60 and 70 turn San Diego knots. Just walk by and see Darren tying a knot that's 3 feet long. Like, what are you doing? Well, you bet me that I couldn't put that many on there.
How was your fishing in Cedros?
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't wide open quantity, but it was really good quality. I caught a 36.5 pound yellowtail.
Wow. Jeez, nice one.
It was a brute, but it was weird because it wasn't like it was in the fall when I had been there before, where we were doing a lot of yo-yo jigging. This was all slow trolling live bait.
There you go. Okay. All right.
No yo-yos, no surface irons.
Fun.
Yeah, interesting.
Fun time. Well, all right. It's always an adventure down there for sure. How was the calico bass fishing? Good?
Good, but we only did that for a day. And it wasn't wide open. And it's just kind of weird fishing. good quality, big fish, big calicos, 8-pounders. But then we just went for yellowtail after that.
Nice. Did the seals bother you at all when you were
a little bit? They got
I did a circle at one of my spots at Cedars the other day because we were just killing time. I did a circle, and before I could get the anchor down, there were 6 big seals.
Oh, yeah. Man.
And then we hooked a few yellows, and they got all but one of them.
They stole some of my yellowtail. They stole more than I caught.
At the islands.
So you say a little bit.
It's horrible. I mean, they're just horrible this year. They're just hungry.
Doug and I fished. Doug and I fished together on Tuesday at the islands. Doug and myself and our buddy Robbie from Shimano all went, and we had the funnest day, but I ran out of curse words yelling at those things. Like they drive you crazy.
I don't think they're hungry. They're lazy. They're not going to go chase it on their own. They're going to wait till you tired it out and it's confined, and then they grab it. They're just
you ought to hear
lazy.
the stories Booger has about them.
I can't imagine. I don't know how he must have the patience of a saint.
Well, once he gets, like he says, you get on a school, you get that first hit, you catch as many as you can. He says once the seals get on you, you might as well just pick up and leave and drive at least for a half an hour. Get away from them because they'll follow you, and then you start over.
They got to move. It's not – a lot of times you see the San Diego move. It's not because the fish aren't still there. It's they got to get away from the sea lions.
That's right.
So, good story. I took some friends, customers out on my boat last Monday, and we were at the Everingham Brothers Bait Company, and they were admiring the sea lions. Oh, aren't they cute and stuff like that? I go, you just wait. Sure enough, about an hour later, they were in a darn sea lions. Get rid of them.
Yeah, we need a law to protect those poor animals.
Yeah, right.
You need one to protect them from me if it's not careful.
Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning. Mike from the Tribute's on the line. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning, gang.
What's up, Mike?
Good morning.
How's it going?
Good, Mike.
So, listening to Marcus earlier, there's been some really quality fish. Some of the yellowfin that we've caught lately, you want to mistake something for a big eye. Some of these yellowfin have been up into the 60-pound range. I ran a couple trips earlier this week, and we had a fish that was right at 60 pounds. Wow. For a local yellowfin, for being that close to home, is just amazing. Then you top it off with a chance of catching one of those giant bluefin. His fishing's pretty darn good. I talked to Tinker this morning. He's already got a couple of handfuls of that nice grade yellowtail. He's starting a 2-day trip, starting down below a little bit more, and we'll be up here tomorrow. So it's a good time to get on a boat.
Very good, Mike.
Chance at a trophy.
Oh, it's not wide open fishing yet. Don't get the wrong idea on this local fishing. It's not wide open, but a catch of 25 bluefin and 30 yellowfin is pretty common, and there's going to be some boats that may only have 10 bluefin and 12 yellowfin or something like that, but it's still pretty darn good fishing for quality fish, and you get a full fishing day in because you're not fishing very far from San Diego.
Yeah, good traveling.
Good points.
That's definitely another thing I would say. Our one-day trips, we're doing the same thing we did last year. As far as I can tell, it's like there's going to be a lot of good fishing close to home. And on some of these one-day trips here lately, you're fishing almost till dark. I mean, it's
Agreed.
kind of hard to beat.
I think a one-day trip is a good bet right now. I mean, it makes more sense in some ways than a day-and-a-half trip because, for sure, a guy could fish till 6:30 in the evening and still get in by 8:30, and he's got plenty of time to turn around.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. No, it's, we have our fingers crossed. I'm predicting a fantastic fall. I mean, it's already off to a great start here. I think we talked about it a lot last year, but I think it's going to be a good year for the popper.
I like what you think, buddy.
Hey, Mike, if somebody wants to come aboard the Tribute out of C4 Sport Fishing, how do we get a hold of you?
619-224-3383 or seaportsportfishing.com. We do have a one-day trip leaving Sunday night. It still has some room on it and trips throughout the week. So come on out and try to get in on some of this big fish action.
Yeah, and you can book right online at seaforthlanding.com, or you can link that right through the Let's Talk Hookup links page, hookup1090.com. Thanks, Mike. Look forward to hearing from you again. All right,
Mike.
Appreciate the call.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. Another full hour. We got the catch report, big blocks of your phone calls, all kinds of great info. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
all the officers.
Here's important news from Searcher Sport Fishing. Our 2015 schedule is now available at searchersportfishing.com. This is Captain Art Taylor. After an outstanding 2014 season, I promise our trips will fill fast. The Searcher offers great service, awesome food, air-conditioned cabins, an RSW system to preserve your catch, and plenty of room at the rail. Call Celia at 619-226-2403. That's 619-226-2403, or book online today at searchersportfishing.com.
Your hook is one of the most important parts of your fishing tackle, and that is why you should use the hook that sets the standard for quality and innovation. Gamakatsu. As Japan's leading hook manufacturer and growing at an amazing pace, Gamakatsu is responsible for introducing a unique tempering process to give Gamakatsu hooks superior strength and durability. Plus, the conically needle-honed points stay sharp. Gamakatsu offers a hook for every fishing situation, including the finest one-piece ringed hooks, light wire, standard and heavy-duty live bait hooks, and the popular Nautilus circle hooks. Get Gamakatsu hooks at your favorite tackle store and stay connected to that fish of a lifetime. The new Shimano Torium HG is here, and you'll be able to experience this fantastic reel now at your local Shimano dealer. The new Torium is up to 30% smaller than the previous generation, but still has the same line capacity. The smaller S compact body design and one-piece die-cast aluminum frame provides more rigidity and lighter weight. Torium now has EI surface treatment and is tested up to 700 times the corrosion resistance of past models. The new Shimano Torium HG is not only better on the outside, the inside is amazing, with a cross-carbon drag providing up to 24 pounds of drag pressure from a Star Drag reel. It has a sealed roller clutch and 6.2 to 1 brass gears. The machined aluminum handle has a larger knob to make it easy to crank in the big fish. The new lightweight aluminum spool gives you better casting and control. Available in 3 sizes, the Torium HG is the next evolution in compact, rigid, and powerful saltwater Star Drag reels. Get it now at your local Shimano dealers.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Padres.
Oh, right.
San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know: CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
Summer has finally arrived, bringing warmer waters our way. And you know what that means? The offshore fishing this season could be one of the best ever. And speaking of best ever, have you seen the new 2015 Ford F-150? It's the most advanced F-150 ever, which is even more good news for fishermen. One of my favorite features is the available 360-degree camera. It lets you see everything around you, which really comes in handy when you're trying to launch on a crowded dock. It's also the first truck ever to be built with military-grade aluminum alloy. That means the new F-150 is up to 700 pounds lighter to accelerate faster and stop quicker. It also hauls more and tows more. And get this, it does it all more fuel efficiently. I highly recommend taking one out for a test drive. The new F-150 is the best thing to happen to fishermen in San Diego since the barbed hook. So stop by your San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
This is Greg Stotesbury from AFCO. For over 20 years, AFCO has been known for its traditional fishing shorts. We now will also be known for our new line of next-generation fishing and board shorts. Our new M82 tactical fishing shorts feature quick-dry, high-tech, two-way stretch fabric, zipper fly, 6 functional pockets plus pliers pocket, sublimated camo print, and our DWR finish so your shorts don't get stained. Also new to the AFCO line are the M25 Stingray board shorts. The Stingray board shorts feature new, quick-dry, 4-way mind stretch fabric, modern zipper fly, 2 technical high cargo pockets with inverted zippers, silicone printed draw cords, along with our DWR finish to repel stains. Both shorts are new to the AFCO line and come in a variety of colors and sizes. These technically advanced fishing and board shorts continue AFCO's long tradition of providing the world's finest fishing and board shorts. Check them out today at better shops everywhere.